No health without mental health. There's no health without mental health. There's no health without mental health. And so say all of us. There's no health without mental health. There's no health without mental health. There's no health without mental health. And so say all of us. I want to welcome us back. Sincerely speaking, I don't know what happened. We were having a wonderful time and network as usual. I really don't know what happened. I don't know where you guys stopped. I will just recap what I've been saying so far. I want to welcome you to Friday Tonic Mind Matters with Dr. Nubi. I'm your regular host, Dr. Oluseun Peter Ogunubi, a consultant, neuropsychiatrist, mental health therapist, and I'm coming to you live from Grace Cottage Clinic in Ilupeju, Lagos, here in Nigeria. Sorry for the break in transmission. I said the topic today is stress management. How do we manage stress? Because things are happening in our world. If we are not stressed maritally, we are stressed at job, we are stressed by our children, we are stressed by the environment, the political scenarios, a lot of things. Finances. How are you guys feeding? Where are you getting money? Are you able to get 1,800 kilo of chicken, 1,900, and they will cut it into 3 pieces? How are you doing it? How are you surviving? Those of you with 3 children, those of you that have to send money to your mom, your dad, how are you doing it? How much is your salary? How are you able to cope? The stress is so much. It's anywhere in Nigeria. If you are not stressed by your wife, you'll be stressed by your husband, the children, anyone. Boss will be screaming on you. So many things. We are all stressed. I'm stressed. My workers are stressed. Everybody is stressed. The question is, how do we overcome stress? The truth is that you cannot say you don't want stress at all. We have established one fact, that a life that is not stressful is not worth living. Because the truth is that you need a little bit of stress to move on. You need a little bit of stress to move, to accomplish purpose. That one is what we are calling eustress, normal stress. Then after that, we have distress, which is the one that is bad. It's the one that can cause a lot of problems. And I said life is, this thing is about inverted U shape. When this is no stress at all, you will not be productive. But as your stress level increases, productivity increases, and it gets to a level which is plateau, in which you will not be productive at all. If that stress level should now continue, the person will start depreciating. That's why you say it is like inverted U. You may be enjoying the little, but after a while, the body begins to shut down. And I said that is why we have distress and eustress. It's also important for you to know that stress is our body response to things around us. Threat, change, our body response, and we're expected to respond normally. But when the stress level is becoming too much, that is negative stress. And those things that are stressing us are called stressors. Stressors can be internal, it can be external. Internal stressors are the ones that you are the one processing it. You are processing it in form of your thoughts, your beliefs, your attitude. Some of us, we are internally stressed because we put ourselves in that situation. For example, a woman that is thinking of, oh, how will he give, how will the children, the child who is a 12-year-old in primary GS2 or basic 8, will the person get married? Will she go to good school, university? What is your own at this stage? Now you are thinking about their future. and it's stressing you. Some are even stressed. Oh, all this Boko Haram. What if they come to Lagos? If they go to Abuja? If the what will now happen? All those things, you are just putting yourself under stress. There's nothing you can do about it other than to pray to your God if you have God. It's not only you facing it. Why do you carry the problem of the whole Nigeria in your hand? Some are stressed that Chelsea is winning from Team and Lucy. Things that are not relevant. So internal stressors are things that we just, or you decide to put your child in one school because your neighbor is attending that, your neighbor's children are going there too, and you don't have money to foot the bill. Or you decide to live in a place you cannot afford, or buy a car that you just have to fuel 5,000 every day, or every other day. Meanwhile, if you buy another one, you can spend 5,000 in 2 weeks. It is important that you identify what is stressing you and you ask yourself, is this thing worth it or not? We are discussing managing stress this evening. This is My Matters with Dr. Nubi, where we appreciate the fact that emotional and psychological things are very, very important because we need to guide our mind. We need to mind our mind. Our mind is our business. So when they say mind your business, they are saying mind your mind. There's no health without mental health. And that's the truth. The fact that you don't have malaria, you don't have typhoid, you don't have anything, no arthritis, no cardiological problem, it is good. But if you are emotionally messed up, you are not going to enjoy life. And that is why people are beginning to pay more attention now. You see somebody just go and die, somebody just commit suicide. How many people do you see with cancer that go and commit suicide? Able-bodied. Oh, we saw him yesterday. We saw her yesterday. How many people have you seen that they had HIV and co? And they now, it's because he has also. Even though these are risk factors for suicide, but you realize that able-bodied men whose mind has been messed up, they've suffered a lot of depression. And so what happens? They become worthless, hopeless, and helpless. That is the feeling they have, and they just take their lives. And that is why this topic is very crucial in time like this, that you need to manage your stress. This is a topic that cuts across every layer and every strata. And you cannot say, yes, me, I'm not. You are stressed. And that's why you need to tell somebody, go and join Dr. Nubi Peter on Instagram. That man is making sense. If to you I'm not making sense, you can just join, look at me and go away. I always tell people, if you don't listen to me when I'm talking about prevention, you will come and meet me in treatment. Admission is very free. When you get there, you know that it's not. So if you look at me, or you just listen, or I send link, or someone tells you, come and listen to things that will help you to prevent your. Some of you are spending thousands on gym. Oh, building your body, muscle, building your muscle, doing everything. It's good. But it is important for you to note that it is not enough to build your muscle. What is the essence of building muscle when your mind is messed up? You're in a toxic relationship. You're in a toxic environment. Everything is just going in different direction. You are not stable. You can't sleep, but you are gymming. You are doing calorie. All those ones are good. I mean, it's good, but you must balance it all. If the way you take care of your physical health is the way you take care of your mind, you have mind, fitness, and exercise, you avoid things that can mess your mind up, you'll be so fine. But somehow, we prevent hypertension, we prevent diabetes, we don't eat sweet things, we don't take salty things, we don't drink, we don't smoke, and we think when we have done all, we'll be very, very healthy. My dear, if you don't take care of your mind, there's no health without mental health. Once the mind is messed up, this is the picture of the brain. You see it? You see it? If this thing is messed up right here, it's inside the skull. This organ you are seeing is the brain. Forget. So it is very, very important for you to pay attention to the psychological aspect of your life. And that's why today we are talking about stress management. And we have already said that it is normal for us to be stressed in life. because you need some bit of stress to be productive. These are the things that motivate you into action. If you are not stressed at all, then we call it a motivation. You don't want to do anything. Productivity will be zero. So students need to read. That is stressful. What I'm doing to you now is quite a bit stressful. Getting all these things together, network failing, but you need it so that you can progress and get things accomplished. But we're saying that you must not allow it to get too much that it now becomes distress or negative stress. Okay? And it is very important to know that when your body is accumulating stress at work, at home, academics, everything, marriage, it gets to a time that the body will go to a state of alarm. That is the state that the body is warning you. Hey, oh boy. Oh, okay. You got to rest. Take it easy. That is what the body will be telling you. But you know what? If you do not listen to your body system and what your body is telling you, you know what will happen? You will go to the second stage, which is a state of resistance. Oh, Dr. Nubi, how do I know my body alarm system? I'm not your body. I know my own body alarm system. I know that when I find it difficult sleeping, or when I lose appetite, and just feeling bloated, I know that I'm stressed. Or when I become irritable, I know that I'm becoming stressed. What about your own? Is it about your period? Some period will last longer, some will be very shortened. Some will be having serious muscle ache. That is the body telling you that you need to take things easy. It's not that the body will wake up one day and say, wake up, alarm, you are stressed. No, you will feel it in your system. And that is why you need to know yourself. The great philosopher said, man, know thyself. If you don't know yourself, then how do you even know that your body is in a state of alarm? Many people don't get to stage 3, which is the final stage. Before they get there before they now realize. But if you are smart enough and you understand your body system, you will know when the state of alarm is ringing. Let us assume that Mr. A ignored this state, which is the body alarm system, and then the stress level continues. You are the first person to get to work, the last to leave. You are the one chasing clients, so many targets to meet. You are in a toxic relationship, toxic friendship. You are doing beyond yourself. You are not cutting your clothes according to your clothes. You are not doing things that you are capable of achieving. You are setting goals. But the next 3 months, I must build 5 houses in Maryland. I must build 10 in Lekki. I must travel to America. I must do this. Same you. No measurement. No specificity. No timeline. You just want to do many things at the same time. You are putting yourself under unnecessary pressure. Let us assume you continue to do that. What happens? Your body gets to a state of alarm. A state of alarm. After that, it goes to a state of resistance. This is a state that you now begin to go to hospitals. They will do all the tests. Everything will be normal. How about I'm not feeling fine? I feel sickly. I feel weak. I feel tired. Oh, my body. They continue to do tests. Your file in the hospital becomes so big like this. Sir, you don't have hypertension, diabetes, and all you have is stress. Reduce it, sir. That your children in that school that you cannot afford, withdraw them. That car, sell it and buy another one. That plan, that house, go and call the architect, let them change the design. That design is too much beyond you. You will not carry the house to heaven. You can only sleep in one room. In that one room, you have only one bed. You can only sleep in a portion of the bed. So you need to understand that as much as possible, you must cut your coat according to your clothes. If your clothes is too yard, if it is knicker and shirt, cut it. You don't need to say you must cut trouser at all costs. That is doing beyond yourself. These are some of the things we put on ourselves. If you ignore alarm, the body goes to a state of resistance. If you ignore this resistance, then the body goes to the final stage, which is a stage of exhaustion. The state of exhaustion is when everything now comes down. Everything scatters. everything scatters. Either depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, all form of mental problem. Fatigue. Why? Because you have failed to change when the body was warning you through alarm system. You failed to change when your body was in a state of resistance and you were having those small sickness. Now you have continued in that path. You did not make any adjustment to the stressors in your life. The body remains there and you continued to push as if body na wood. That is what happens. The body goes to a state of exhaustion. And what now happens? You now begin to have symptoms of stress. These symptoms can be physical, can be mental, or can be emotional. Okay. It is important for us to understand that all these things, if an average Nigerian, for example, take them into account, we will not have cases of emotional distress. We will not have people committing suicide. We will not see people having depression. And when they have depression, when they have suicide, what happens? People will say, oh, it is the arrow of the enemy. They have seen his star. They know that it's going to be so great in life. That's why they decide to shoot 7 arrows. That's why the person is now having depression. Because how can you explain? A vibrant person who suddenly stops going to work. She stops going to work. She's always alone in the room. She doesn't want to come out. She begins to cry. She begins to feel a state. She sees herself in a state of despondency, feeling weak, feeling worthless, feeling helpless. It must be arrows of the enemy, and those arrows are 7. So they begin to look for spiritual leaders, herbalists, traditional healers that will remove all the arrows. Meanwhile, what happened? This person was in a state of burnout, very stressful life, and many other things were ignored. Ibijoke 1, thanks for joining. T-Joy 1005, H-Luma_Dioko, Staff 3896, thank you for joining. Game with JJ, how are you guys? Good Billing said, you guys and these names. XS_Mena. Julie_Dal, how are you? Anastasia Mogwela. I hope I did not murder that name. Anyway, Messiah 1 joined. Adogwe Amina, Jesus Lady Robinson. I mean, Yucha, Eniola Goddess, Sadiq, Evaske, Aisha, Immaculata, Jorils, Ogedeguatu. These are names. Lil_Smoke_20, Odiambo 4383, King Mopsy join, Pristine Fabric, Ruango. Oh my God, you guys are too much. 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 Abusi Wealth, thanks for joining. Okay, so of course I'm going to post this on the on my timeline, and we can always go back. So today I will just be rounding up by telling us the physical symptoms of stress or burnout, and then we'll discuss the second part with the concluding part next week by the grace of God keeping us alive. And what are the physical symptoms that we need to watch out for? It is very, very important that when you begin to have muscle pains everywhere, you have used different medication, it's still paining you, you may be going through stress, watch out. When you have chest pain, abdominal pain, you are feeling cold, frequent colds, you can't sleep, migraine, headaches, back problems, these may be signs of fatigue or stress. It is very, very important If you also begin to notice that you just feel unwell, before you walk from here to there, you are tired, you just know that something is wrong with you. It's a sign of stress. I don't know what you are going through. I don't know the symptoms that you are experiencing now. But just as I've said, don't miss the body alarm system. If you miss that, don't miss the resistance stage. And don't get to that state of exhaustion. If you get to that state of exhaustion, you will not be able to be watching this live. That you are still watching this live means, if anything at all, you are in a state of resistance. So it is for you to take charge of your life, identify ways and areas you are dealing with stress. Consider the stressors in your life. What are the stressors in your life? What have you put your hand into that is bigger than you? Some of us, we just do as if we are God. We just do everything. We work, we set goals, we are very ambitious. It is good. There's nothing bad in being ambitious. But if it will cost you your mental health, is it worth it? I've seen people that have labored, and just for them to start eating the fruit of their labor, they go straight into mental illness. And it's another person that is reaping from the fruit of their labor. And they are using part of the proceeds to take care of them. Does that make sense? So the way you are so serious, going to gym, carrying that water bottle and everything, be serious about your health as well. Be serious about your health as well. So it's 7 o'clock. I think I'll go into the emotional consequence of stress next time. Then we'll now begin to talk about what are the things we can do to manage stress. Or let me just finish that today. Let me talk about all the consequences and the symptoms, and then when we meet, we'll be talking about way out, solutions. Fantastic. So let me quickly talk about the mental symptoms of stress. The first thing you begin to notice is reduced concentration. You open a book like this, or you just be looking at the book. You know you are reading, but the thing is no longer entering. You have to read over and over and over. Before you read 2 lines, you've gotten it, but now you have to read over and over for you to get what's going on. Stress. Memory. Now you have to write things down. You forget things. It's normal to forget, but when it is becoming more and more and more, then you need to watch out. Indecisiveness. Sometimes you just notice that you can't, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Tomorrow you change your mind again. It's a sign of stress. That's another symptom I used to have. Anytime I'm stressed, that's when people used to abuse me that, make up your mind now. You are highly indecisive. Why? Because so many things on my mind. I was okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll just change my mind. I was okay, let's make it next week. Everything. Why? Because I'm stressed out. When your mind begins to race back and forth, it's a sign of stress. Your mind is not, when there's what we call there's what we call your mind settling down. You just feel on edge. You feel confused, or you lose sense of humor. Everybody is playing, everybody is laughing. You are just worried. Sometimes you are angry. Sometimes you have fear. Sometimes you are irritable for no reason. Sometimes you have short temperament. All of a sudden, you can't sleep. You are very touchy. This is to show that you are going through stress. Some will come with symptoms of anxiety. You just get worried. It's as if you will die. It's as if you are losing control of yourself. Panic attack. Your heart will be racing. It will be as if you want to lose your breath. It's as if you want to breathe. I didn't have asthma. What's going on? You'll be feeling you feel asthmatic. As if you are choking. Lightheadedness. As if you want to faint. These are signs that you are going through stress. It's burnout. It is important that we understand this. Some go into a state of depression in which they have low energy, fatigue, loss of appetite. Doctor, what are other signs of depression? I've been hearing of depression. The truth is low energy, fatigue, loss of interest in things you used to enjoy before, irritability, difficulty in carrying out usual work, school, domestic activities. All these are signs of depression. It's a state of persistent sadness. Persistent sadness. In which the person suddenly loses sense of worth. To them, they amount to nothing. They now be amplifying all their mistakes and failure. Do you know that some people, when they are depressed, they even become psychotic? They will be feeling that they are responsible for something they were not responsible for. Some will be hearing voices. Yes. Some will feel people are talking about them when they are passing. Some will feel that they are non-entity. They are useless and they amount to nothing. So many things happen. It is very important that we do not allow stress to get us to this state. Don't forget, we ignored the state of alarm. Me, I will not even get to a state of alarm before I run away from any stress. So I'm not a yes man or yes sir. I will look at my table, I will say, okay, these are the things I want to do. I tell people they need to be assertive without being rude. Some of us are rude and we are not assertive, and we think that is the only way. Some of us, we are very, permissive. We are just accepting because we don't want to ruffle any feather. There's a difference between that, and if you go back to my previous post, you will see when I talk about communication skills. The permissive, the assertive, and the authoritarian. The aggressive type. So it is important for you to note that you do not need to be rude, but you can politely, in a loving manner, explain yourself. I understand that you want me to do this. Well, I appreciate that. I will do it. But can I just clear my table for now? Simple. Not I can't do it, I can't kill myself. Please, if I die now, this company will continue. No. That one, you've lost the message. Please, you can't kill me. If I die, you marry another person. That is not to speak to your spouse. But your ability to say, I understand what you want, but I do not have the capacity to do that now. And doing that will run me down. And I don't want to be run down. I appreciate what you are saying. Why I agree with you, the need to do this, and this. My dear, I can only do this at this moment. Maybe with time, we will achieve the remaining one. Oh, beautiful. Why I appreciate, sir, that you are interested in me doing this and this and this. Well, the capacity will not be able to do that for now. Why I love to take you abroad, my children, but with the state of things and economy downturns, we will go to the village. It is still part of sightseeing. Why I love to sew agbada for you, my children, but with the clothes that we have, you will also knicker and shirts. Why I love to buy this limousine or this Jeep that will be consuming 20,000. It is important, my wife, my husband, that we just buy a nice American spec Toyota that will not consume much fuel. Why I love to have freezer, fridge, everything in the house, and I will be paying a bill of 50,000, depending on where you are. My dear, we may have to cope with this freezer alone and not on the fridge and freezer together. That is cutting your clothes according to your clothes, not according to your size. Because if it's according to your size, the clothes will not be enough. It is what the clothes present that you cut. There was a time in my life that I had accidents, and I could not afford to buy the car of my choice. So I went to buy one kurupe, and my head was almost touching the ceiling, the roof of the car. And some of my friends will say, Peter, you are too big for this one. I say, really, don't worry. I'm not too big for anything. We move. And when the time came to buy the car of my choice, God provided at the right time. But I still cruised my Smalley for a long time. I was not ashamed. If you park your limousine, I will park my limousine. Sometimes they will disgrace me. They will tell me to go and park in another place that is for VIP. I will say, this car is a VIP car too. I will wash it very clean in the morning to be shiny. And funny enough, people loved it. They say it's very cute, very small. Yes, I said, that's my car. They say, no, you're a consultant now. Your head is touching the roof. Who cares? Who cares? I put it on my status yesterday. Different things that can destroy one's life. Bad friend, wrong choices, listen to opinion of others. Many of us, we are stressing ourselves, and that's why we talk about internal stressors. Our mind, our behavior, our actions. Many of us are stressing ourselves because we want to please people around us. At whose expense? At your own detriment. When you are put in the hospital, are they in the hospital with you? When the police is chasing you around the FCC, will that person go to cell with you? When you fail the exam, because you are trying to please someone else, are they going to do receipt with you? When your boyfriend tells you to sleep with him without using protection and everything, and then you are the one that is pregnant, will they do abortion with you? If you decide to give birth, will they stop the education because of you? Many a times we put ourselves under so much pressure and stress because we want to please others. We'll be talking about stress management in the part 2 of this wonderful series. Today we have established that stress is needed for us to be productive, but too much stress, which is called distress, is not good. We've also established that we have internal stressors and external stressors. And we have said our thinking, our habits, our mind, our behavior are the things that constitute internal stressors. Why death, circumstances that we cannot control are external stressors. Sometimes if we even leave external stressors, it is what we are even doing for ourselves and to ourselves that is more. And then we went on and on to talk about many other symptoms to show that, oh, your body is being stressed. We talked about 3 stages: the stage of alarm, the stage of resistance, and the stage of exhaustion. And I warned us never to get to a state of exhaustion. Don't ignore the alarm system in your body. Your body physiology will change to know that you need to slow down. Cool temper. If you miss it, you go to a state of resistance where you'll be going to hospital, checking, doing all sorts of tests. Everything will be coming back as 0. If you miss that and you don't quickly go back and remove yourself from toxic environment, toxic relationship, toxic attitude, toxic behavior, toxic function, toxic job place, and you continue, you go to the final stage, which is a state of exhaustion. That is when you need admission, you become depressed, anxious, post-traumatic, and those diagnoses will come there. I believe I've helped somebody tonight. It's Mind Matters with Dr. Nubi Peter. I'm your regular host. I do this every Friday, 6 o'clock. Those who want to listen to me will listen to me. Those who want to go to my timeline will listen. They say that the drugs you did not purchase with money, you always keep it anyhow. I believe you will not do so with this teaching. I believe the teaching will guide you to be able to make informed decisions. I will be rounding up and I'll be going today. But I want to tell you that in the next 10 years, 20 years, 50 years to come, I want to go back to my post and see the relevance of it. In many years to come, if you go to our Dr. Nubi Peter on Instagram and you check many of these posts, you see the relevance of it. Tell somebody to tell somebody. Share the link. I will copy it on my page. Go to my page. Share it with all your contacts. Don't be selfish. I'm not interested in fame. I'm not interested in you paying me. But I'm interested in you living a good mental health life. Because I always say there's no health without mental health. This is my own contribution to humanity. I've always promised myself that I will get all I can in this world. And after getting what all I can, I will not sit on the can. After getting all I can, I will not sit on the can. After getting all I can, I, Oluseun, will not sit on the can. So in an attempt not to sit on the can, I decided to open knowledge and share with you things that can help you to live a wonderful, emotional, stressless, or stress-free mental health life. Till I come your way next week, by the grace of God Almighty, I want to let you know that as you keep physically fit, also keep mentally fit. Because there's no health without mental health. Catch ya.